What's up, everybody? This is episode 82 of Hoops Talk with Dave's Joint. Shout outs to everybody that's been supporting us thus far through this venture. For those who haven't seen this episode or any of our content, go check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and IGTV. But without further ado, we have a very special guest tonight. He is the coach of one of New Jersey's most successful basketball teams on the high school level. He's coached guys that have gone on to the NBA, Division I basketball. He's won a couple New Jersey Tournament of Champions titles. Need I say more? Today, we have with us Mr. Dave Boff. Coach, thank you for coming on to share your testimonial.
I appreciate it, man. No problem. Thanks for having me.
So my very first question for you is, what's Dave Boff's coaching philosophy?
I think overall, the thing that my kids probably hear the most from me is just, that our goal is to get better every day when we leave the gym. Let's be better when we walk out of the gym than we were when we walk in, and that's, if we can accomplish that both as individuals and as a team, we'll have a chance to be the best version of ourselves at the end of the season. So that's probably the thing that the guys hear from me the most, is just that consistent growth and improvement.
Indeed. So when did basketball begin for you?
Oh man, my father played in college. He started taking me to Union County tournament games when I was a little kid, to see Elizabeth and some of the other teams back then. And so it's pretty much been in my family and my life for as long as I can remember. And then I played obviously in high school and college, and then started coaching right after college, and I've pretty much been doing it since then. So, basketball has been important to me for as long as I can remember.
So where did you grow up, and what was the basketball culture like over there?
I grew up in Berkeley Heights in New Jersey, in Union County. Not exactly a basketball hotbed by any stretch of the imagination, but, we had a pretty decent team when I was in high school, but I was probably the only guy in the school where basketball was, his first sport or his first love. It springboarded me onto an opportunity to play in college, and, that's kind of taken me to coaching. So it was a great start for me.
So what high school did you play at?
Governor Livingston High School, which is the public school in Berkeley Heights.
Nice. So what year did you graduate from Governor Livingston?
Graduated high school in 1995.
Cool. Shout outs to the graduating class of 1995. It was a good year.
Exactly.
So where some tournaments when you were younger, what events did you like playing, if any?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing has always been, the Union County tournament. And again, that started from my father taking me there when I was a little kid. That's my first memories of high school basketball, was going to the Dunn Center with my father, who played at Thomas Jefferson High School in Elizabeth, and, going to those games with him and watching, Elizabeth and Linden battle. And then, as I got a little bit older, St. Pat's with Coach Boyle and those teams. And, so the Union County tournament to me has always been really special. So that's something that's, really been at the forefront of my mind ever since I was a little kid.
Wow. I mean, the Dunn Center, I've been in that gym a few times. It's a big place.
Yeah.
Huge place for a high school gym, for a high school program. Like, so many programs struggle to actually find gyms to play in, or don't have any gyms at all. Like, that's a big place.
Yeah. When I was growing up, in Union County, that was kind of like the Mecca. Like, if you ever got an opportunity to play at the Dunn Center, it was a big deal, whether it was in a, summer league game or, a county tournament game. That was always a big deal for everybody in Union County. And, Coach Colicchio being back at Elizabeth the last, couple of years, I think he started to bring that back to Union County, bring that back to Elizabeth. And, it's kind of become the place to be again, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. So how did the Monmouth University opportunity come about?
That was it was a school that I was always interested in. I didn't really want to go too far away from home. Monmouth was a school that gave me an opportunity to go down there and play. I was lucky enough to be on a team as a freshman with some great players who led us to a NCAA tournament my freshman year. So got the opportunity to play down at Cameron Indoor against Duke over Christmas break my freshman year, which was fantastic. And, some of my best friends, are guys that I played with on that team. I was there for a short period of time. I didn't finish my career there, but I was there for, a short period of time and developed some great relationships. And, still keep in touch occasionally with my college coach, Wayne Zoke, and one of the assistants there, Dave Calloway. And, Monmouth was a special time for me, a really cool time, some lifelong memories from there.
So where did you graduate college from?
I finished up at Susquehanna University, which is a Division III out in Pennsylvania. And that's, that kind of took me into the coaching ranks because, my roommate in college was a guy named Tommy Dempsey, who's now the head coach at Binghamton, previously the head coach at Rider University. And when he and I graduated Susquehanna, we coached at a small college, Keystone College in Pennsylvania, which is where I kind of, started my career before coming back to Jersey. And so, the transfer to Susquehanna, I guess had a lasting impression on me because that's kind of what kicked off my coaching career.
So when did you start coaching at Keystone College?
That would have been, I graduated in 99, so that would have been the 2000-2001 season.
Talk about, coaching on the college level.
Coaching on the college level was fun, but the travel and things of that, that nature weren't things that I really enjoyed that much. I enjoyed, coaching the players and having that level of talent, and things like that. But, I just was never really into all the traveling and being around the country, and so fairly early into my college coaching career, I decided that I wanted to come back to New Jersey and get a job where I could build a program and try to be successful at the high school level.
So you also coached at Lackawanna College?
Yep. That was my last year coaching in college, was out there in Scranton.
Nice. So when did let's talk about the Roselle Catholic opportunity. Like, when did that come about?
That was about, I guess this is my 13th year at RC, so that was about 12, 13 years ago. Had the opportunity to interview for that position after Coach Hagan left after his, long tenure at Roselle Catholic. And it had always been a strong program. People around the area thought that it was kind of, a place that could go to a high level. So I was lucky enough to get that job, 12, 13 years ago. And, supported by the administration and by the people at Roselle Catholic to build the program that we built. And, it's just kind of gone from there. But, it took a lot of hard work and a lot of great people with me, assistant coaches and great players that we've had. But, about 12, 13 years ago, I got that opportunity.
So talk about the early years of your tenure at RC.
The early years, we struggled a little bit. I think my first year, we won 11 games and then 9 the second year. And at that point, we got a kid named Jamil Warney, who ended up became the all-time leading scorer at Roselle Catholic, went on to Stony Brook, then played in the NBA for a little while. So Jamil came and, he kind of guided us, from kind of the bottom of Union County up into the Watch-On Conference and made us kind of a perennial top 20 team in the state. And that led to, Jamil led to Tyler Roberson and Hakeem St. Eel. And then those guys led to, Isaiah Briscoe and so on. And, it just kind of grew from there. But, it really, that foundational piece, that first guy that came was a kid named Jamil Warney from Plainfield.
So, talk about how Jamil Warney was like in high school.
He was a dominant force in high school. Probably the best 6'6" post player, anybody could ever remember. Was really a dominant force for us. A 25 and 12 type of guy, night in, night out. Led us to some great wins during his 4 years, and again took us from a team that was barely was below 500 or right around 500 to a team that was 25, 26 wins his senior year. And I think also gave us the credibility that other players wanted to come and play at Roselle Catholic. I think the fact that he came and had success and people saw how good the program was becoming, led to the next group of guys that came along.
And then Tyler Roberson, he was the next one that came up. You know, the 2013 squad. Like, talk about that season.
Yeah, so Tyler came over as a junior, which was Jamil's senior year, but Tyler we should have been, we would have been really, really good that year. Tyler, unfortunately, tore his hamstring and missed most of that season. So Tyler came back for his senior year. We had a great group, that 2013 team with Tyler and Hakeem St. We had Malachi Richardson, Sante Gist, Matt Bullock, Chris Silva, just a fantastic team that year in 2013. And, I think still we were very, very underrated. We entered the state tournament as the 10 seed. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're the lowest ranked team to ever win the TOC as the number 10 seed, or the number 10 ranked team in the state of New Jersey. St. Anthony's at that time had won, back-to-back TOCs, had won, I think, when we upset them in the state championship game, they had won like 89 or 90 games in a row against high school teams. So that was just a great, great game, great team that we had that year, but that was a huge upset beating St. Anthony's that first year.
So how was it beating a team like St. Anthony's, a perennial historical team?
For a coach who wanted to do what we were trying to do for our staff and our kids, we believed we could do it, obviously, or else it wouldn't have happened. But, it was, literally like a dream come true for us. We set out that year to win the TOC. I don't think anybody in the state of New Jersey thought that we really had a chance to do it. And then going up against St. Anthony's as a huge, huge underdog, to upset them the way that we did, was just something that I'll never forget. Still probably my favorite win we've ever had, just because it was the last time anybody, kind of gave us no chance to win a game. Now kind of we're expected to win the games, but back then, I think we were probably, 15, 20 point underdogs going into that one.
So you guys actually played Carl Townsend in the TOC two years in a row, correct?
No, just that year in the TOC final.
So the 2015 team, you guys had the fortune of gaining Isaiah Briscoe after that TOC team, after the first TOC team. Like, talk about what it was like having Isaiah Briscoe for 2 years.
Isaiah was unbelievable for us. One of the top guards, in New Jersey in the last, 20 years, without question. He was, not only was he a dominant basketball player, but he was an outstanding team leader. The type of guy that really took young guys under his wing, led by example, also led vocally, and, really made my life very easy for 2 years, because you could just kind of put the ball in Isaiah's hands and feel pretty comfortable that good things were going to happen.
Like, I know he attracted a lot of attention. Like, how was it? Like, how was the frenzy around Briscoe? Because at one time, he was like a rock star.
Yeah, he definitely was a rock star. I remember we played at a tournament out in Ohio, and literally, we missed our team meal back at the hotel because he was there signing autographs and signing sneakers for kids for probably 90 minutes after the game. There was a line around the entire arena waiting for him for pictures and autographs. I remember selling out Kane College when Ben Simmons was with Montverde, and we played them at Kane that year. And the organizers of that event said they left like 1,000 people outside. I know when we played we played St. Anthony's at our place, and we left 600-800 people outside for that game. He's the man. He sold a lot of tickets, that kid, for sure.
Yeah. And then you guys won another TOC championship with him. Talk about his senior year.
His senior year was a fantastic year. We lost a couple of games, but we always kind of had our eyes on the prize of being the best team in New Jersey at the end of the year. And we took a couple losses in the middle of the season. We got up to number 2 in the country and took a couple of losses. And, I think we got a kind of a full of ourselves at that time. And, we needed to get refocused and stuff. And Isaiah and the other guys on that team did a great job of doing that and getting through a rough patch in the middle of the season. And then, and then just played lights out the rest of the year. Won a bunch of big games by huge margins. And then, outside of the St. Anthony's game in the state championship game, really kind of cruised through the state tournament that year and, and finished with the TOC.
Then that leads into the emergence of Nazi Reed and Khalil Whitney. Talk about what it was like coaching those guys.
Those guys, I have such fond memories of all the players, but, I spent a lot of time with Nazi and Khalil. Nazi was a 4-year guy at Roselle Catholic. Khalil was a 3-year guy at Roselle Catholic. So, you got to coach those guys for a number of years, really got to see the growth from them, not only as players, but as young men, coming in as kids and really leaving as young men. And, that's always been something that I've been super proud of is just the growth of our guys at Roselle Catholic. I think the school does a tremendous job of, teaching these guys, to be good people, to be good students, to be givers in their community, all those types of things. And so those are some of my fond memories with those guys is not only how great of basketball players they were in all the games we won, but, just getting to see them grow as people.
That 2018 TOC championship game, I was actually there for that game. That was a real good one.
That was a great game. Great game.
Yeah. In Trenton. It sucks it wasn't packed, but it was a great game.
That's the one problem with that arena is no matter, even if you get 6, 7, 8,000 people in there, it still doesn't seem very crowded.
Yeah. But moving forward to the present day, talk about, for all the kids out there that would love to know about playing for Roselle, what does a player have to play for Dave Boff?
I mean, you're going to have to love the game. You're going to have to love to compete. And, you're going to have to love to challenge yourself every day because, the thing that goes on at Roselle Catholic, similar to some of the other elite schools around, but certainly our place, there's going to be great players around you and you're going to have to compete for minutes and you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice some of your personal stuff for the ultimate team goals and things of that nature. But, all the kids that have come through Roselle Catholic that have done that, they've reaped the reward of a Division I scholarship, and all the guys we've gone on to play professionally, we've had 5 guys play in the NBA, another handful of guys that have played professionally and are still playing professionally. So, the benefits are there at the end, but, it's not easy. You have to want to compete day in and day out in practice. And, you have to be willing to go to battle with guys over minutes, because, on any given year, we might have 8 or 9, Division I players in the program grades 9 through 12. So, it's not a place where you're just going to walk in and play 32 minutes a game as a freshman. You're going to have to come in and compete for minutes and earn them. And, young guys do play in our program, but, they got to come in and compete right away.
Awesome. So talk about a regular game at the Lions Den.
The Lions Den, has been packed many times over the last, 8, 9, 10 years. It's a great environment. I think probably, similar to, the Dunn Center, kind of a mecca in Union County, even in New Jersey. We've hosted some great events at our place. The Tom Ritchell Memorial, which we run for my uncle, has hosted IMG Academy. It's hosted Montverde. I feel like we're the only school that really hosts national games in our own building. Most of the time, if you're going to play a Montverde and IMG, Huntington Prep, when they had Miles Bridges, you're going to Kane College, you're going to a place like that. At Roselle Catholic, we play those games in our own building, because it seats almost 2,000 people when we have all the bleachers out. So it's a great environment, a great experience for kids, and our guys love it there.
Talk about, having the sponsorship with Nike. It seems like they've done so much for the program.
They do. I mean, it's a great partnership. We're thrilled and blessed to be a part of the Nike family. I've been on a couple of Zoom calls recently with the Nike coaches all over the country about different things that we're trying to do. The voting initiative that Nike has going on right now that we've been supporting, all those types of things, and the support that they give the program, the support they give the kids. Opportunities that they give us to play in events, and opportunities they give our kids to be at different camps and things of that nature. It's just such a blessing to be part of the Nike family, and we appreciate it very much.
So in addition to being the coach, you're also the director of development at the school. Talk about, what that job entails.
Basically it's fundraising for the school to, make sure that Roselle Catholic is here for another 60 years, providing a great education, for the kids in the community, whether it's Union, Essex County, Somerset County, even down into Monmouth County. My job as the development director is to make sure that I'm speaking to our alums and speaking to our corporate sponsors and raising the money that allows us to provide the Roselle Catholic education at a price that people can afford, which in today's world is somewhat difficult, and everybody's going through a difficult time right now, and we're blessed to have generous donors and generous corporate partners who support us and provide tuition aid for our students and things of that nature.
I hope that Roselle continues to stay open for 100 more years, because
Me too.
Catholic education is definitely where it's at. It's a great alternative to public education, but more importantly, the kids get to learn about religion, and also, they get the best academics, the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. That's something that we're very proud of. The fact that we're able to provide for our kids a top-flight education, and for the basketball players, an elite level basketball program. We don't feel like parents have to sacrifice anything coming to Roselle Catholic. You get top flight both on and off the court, and that's something that we're very proud of.
So, on any given day, how many Division I coaches or college coaches, period, come to a Roselle Open gym?
In a normal year, a lot, a fair amount. We'll have over 100 Division I colleges visit our gym in a given year, looking at our kids and checking in on workouts and practices and games. So certainly probably over 100 Division I coaches see the Roselle Catholic players in our own gym every year, which is something that's very, I think, unique for our guys, and something that they appreciate, their parents appreciate, because, that's what leads to the scholarship opportunities that all of our guys get.
Now, talk about last season. You guys went 21-7. You guys sent a couple players, three players, to high major Division I schools, in Cliff Omarui, who's now at Rutgers, Niles Lane, who's at Florida, and CJ Wilcher, who's now at Xavier. Talk about that team.
That was a great team. We really battled injuries. The toughest season I've ever had for injuries in all my years of coaching, which is now over 20 years. I've never seen a season like we had last year with the amount of injuries. Richie Greaves, played 2 games, who was our starting point guard, assigned to Binghamton. Cliff missed 4 or 5 games. CJ Wilcher missed 7 games. Niles Lane missed 10 or 11 games. It was really rough with the injuries, but, and that's why we struggled at different times during the year. But a credit to those guys, and a credit to the coaching staff. We kind of held everything together, and as is, kind of become our calling card. We were playing our best basketball again at the end of the season. Had lost to the Patrick School, obviously, 3 times during the year, but beat them in the state tournament. Went on to beat Gill, and we were all set to play in the state championship game on that Saturday, and when everything got canceled. But really, really proud of the guys last year. It would have been very easy to kind of roll over and, make excuses about the injuries and not finish the season strong, but they refused to do that. They stayed together as a group, and and stuck to the plan of getting better every day. And lo and behold, at the end of the year, we were playing great basketball again, and had ourselves positioned to win another state championship.
Now, talk about the 3 times that you played against the Patrick School. That's a pretty good rivalry game to me.
Yeah. We play the Patrick School. Most years we play them 4 times. We play them twice, either in our league or, now that they're not in our league, we still play them twice in independent games. Then we normally bump into them in the county tournament, and then we normally bump into them at some point in the section. So, 4 times against a team that's routinely ranked in the top 20 in the country, it is a great rivalry for us. And there's been years where we've gotten the better of them, and there's been years they've gotten the better of us. But I think it's the best rivalry in New Jersey basketball, without question. And we respect what those guys do over there as a program. Coach Manis does a great job. And we were lucky to get them in the state game last year. But just another year of battles for Roselle Catholic and the Patrick School last year.
And one of the first game was at the Barclays Center for the Kyrie Irving Invitational. Now, talk about, what it was like playing in an NBA arena.
That's a great experience for our kids. It's fantastic job done by Kyrie and by Nike and the guys at Nike headquarters in New York City, putting that event together. It's a great event. The kids really get taken care of well, and they do a bunch of cool stuff, pregame and even leading up to the game with the kids. Getting them ready for that, and it's a cool experience, cool environment, and it's our second year playing there and that, and we have our fingers crossed that they'll be able to play it again this year, which as of now is the plan. So we look forward to that.
Hopefully, I hope that they actually do get to play that game. Like that would be really big. So for this year's team, you guys have Simeon Wilcher, who's a sophomore, Corey Floyd Jr., who is a junior, no pun intended. What can we expect to see from Roselle this season?
I'm really excited about this year's group. I think they're going to be really fun. We have some great guard play, outstanding guard play with Corey and with Corey and Sim. Amari Marshall joining our program this year is another great player. Jamarcus Lawrence joining our team this year is another great guard for us. We added a couple of, some other guys who are going to help us. So, I think overall, it's, an opportunity for us to have a really great year. We'll play a little bit of a different style probably this year because we don't have, the traditional big man like we've had the last few years. But that'll give us an opportunity to maybe play a little bit more up tempo, do some other things like that. And, I think it's going to be an exciting group to coach, and we'll play a fun brand of basketball this year for sure.
Oh yeah, you got Aaron Bradshaw, the 7-footer.
Yep. Aaron's been coming along. Certainly a lot of potential there, and excited to see what he does this year.
Indeed. So this is one of my favorite questions to ask my guests before I lead up to the final question. If you could go back to 1995, what would you tell a young Dave Boff in his high school career before he gets into coaching?
I probably would tell him to, spend more time on his individual skill development and spend more time in the weight room, doing the things that, aren't necessarily fun, but are, what leads you to be a great player. I certainly am a, person who's, as I look back at, what I did as a high school player, I feel like I definitely could have worked harder. I could have been in the weight room more. I could have done more skill development stuff. I always loved playing, and I played nonstop, but, I didn't spend enough time on my skill development in the weight room, all those things that aren't necessarily fun, and aren't necessarily what people see, but are really what leads you to be the type of player that you want to be. So, that's the message I would have given myself. And then that's why I'm so hard on our guys about doing those things. I'm always harping on them about, working hard in the strength and conditioning program that we have, working hard in the weight room, and making sure that during skill development things that they're taking it seriously and going game speed, because ultimately that's what will make them the types of players that they want to be.
Indeed. Final question. What's next in the future for Dave Boff and the Roselle Catholic Lions?
Just hoping that this season goes the way that everybody says, Normally at this point, we would be, have our sights set on a bunch of different things. But to be honest, with the way everything's going in the world today, right now we're just trying to keep the kids focused on their academics, keep them all healthy, and get ready for the season, and hope that at some point, things open up a little bit. And I've been told that there is a chance that they could still move things around and give us a complete season, as opposed to the abbreviated season. So hopefully at some point in December, January, we get that news and we're able to expand the season from the 15 games they're talking about right now. So, for us, that's kind of what it is. We'll just keep doing what we do. We'll keep promoting our kids to colleges, and hope to have a couple guys sign early, but just keep our fingers crossed that things continue to go well, and we can have as complete a season as we hope.
Coach, thank you for coming on to share your testimonial, and I wish you and Roselle Catholic nothing but the best of luck moving forward.
I appreciate it, man. Hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It was a great time. Thank you.
Indeed. Well, everybody, this is episode 82 of Hoops Talk with Dave's Joint. Shout outs to Coach Dave Boff and Roselle Catholic. For those that support the school, the program, and Coach Boff, go check this interview out on YouTube, Facebook, and IGTV. Stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.
Thank you.